Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be filming a triple chocolate cookie recipe for you. This is the best triple chocolate cookie recipe you will ever try. Gooey and soft in the middle and a little bit of crunchy on the outside. Honestly, perfect. So let's get into the video. So you want to make sure to preheat your oven. If like me you have a fan oven, it's 160 degrees Celsius. If you have a normal electric oven, it's 180 degrees Celsius or 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Or that's gas mark 4 in your gas ovens. So I've started by lining two quite large baking trays as it makes quite a few cookies. And then the ingredients we have here and what you'll be needing are 125 grams of unsalted butter or Stork, which is what I've got, 25 grams of cocoa powder, 100 grams of white granulated sugar, and then we have half a teaspoon of salt, bicarbonate of soda, and half a teaspoon of baking powder. And then you need 100 grams of light brown sugar. I use dark brown sugar, but that should be fine. I've tried it before and it's come out all good. And then you need 225 grams of plain flour. You need 1 medium egg and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then you need 100 grams of milk chocolate chips, 100 grams of dark chocolate chips, and 100 grams of white chocolate chips. However, all I could find was this bar, so I'm just going to break this up. I'm just going to break it up to make chunks because you definitely don't want to miss out the white chocolate. That gives it some good flavour. Okay, so your first step, I've got my KitchenAid bowl here to aid us, and we're just going to put the butter, or like the unsalted butter or Stork, into the bowl. And then both the sugars, so the 100 grams of granulated sugar, white granulated sugar, and the 100 grams of soft light brown sugar need to go in now. So your bowl should look something like this, and now we're going to cream them together using the KitchenAid. I'm using just the classic paddle hook because you don't need any more than that. So I've just put that on about speed 4 just until it's creamed together. Okay, so when you've got a pretty light and fluffy mixture, I'm going to stop that. I'm just going to grab a spatula and just scrape any there's butter chunks and things on the mixer, and just scrape down the sides to make sure you've got everywhere, because sometimes butter can get stuck to the bottom. So just give that another quick mix just to make sure all that extra butter was mixed in. There we go. So we're now going to add the vanilla extract. We're adding 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Also, I'm sorry about the lighting. You think I'm filming at night with the lighting that I'm using, but I'm not. I'm filming at 10:30 in the morning and it still looks like this. Now we're going to add the 1 medium egg. Mix that really low just for a little bit, just to get that combined. Okay, you can mix that a little bit faster. So I've just scraped down the sides a bit. You don't want to mix it too much just in case the egg might curdle. So now we're going to go and add our dry ingredients. I'm just adding my pouring shield to my KitchenAid so the flour doesn't go everywhere. Okay, so we're now going to add our bicarbonate of soda, our baking powder, and our salt. And now we're going to add our 225 grams of plain flour. Be careful not to spill any of that. So you just want to tap that down your shield, just make sure it's all gone in. Any extra in the bowl there. Perfect. And now you're just going to add your 25 grams of cocoa powder. Now you're just going to mix this until you get a kind of pasty mixture, so until it's all combined. So about halfway through mixing, I like to just lift up the mixer and just give it a good scrape to make sure that everything's got in. Okay, so once you've scraped through your mixture, just make sure it's on the bowl and just give it a little bit more of a mix. Okay, so stopping that, you'll now see the type of mixture we have. It's very kind of doughy, a perfect texture for a cookie. So just try and get as much as you can off the paddle. Okay, so we're now just going to take this off, and we're now done with our KitchenAid. Okay, so now we're going to fold in our chocolate chips. So just grab a spatula, which I was already using to scrape down the sides, but just grab one now and grab your chocolate chips. So now we're going to add the milk chocolate chips. It feels like a lot of chocolate, but don't worry, you definitely want it in there. It tastes amazing. So now we're going to add our dark chocolate chips. And white chocolate chips. My sister cut them up for me. Thanks, Holes. No problem. And they're going to go in too. So this is what your bowl should be looking like. You've got just heaps of chocolate on top of your mixture. So now we're just going to fold in the chocolate chips nicely, making sure you get them all in so you don't have any left over. If you don't want to make triple chocolate cookies, you could just add one type of chocolate, but make sure you add in total 300 grams of chocolate because you really want to have that melty middle, gooey feeling, which is what this chocolate will do. So once all your chocolate chips are folded in, you're just going to split this dough in half and then try and make some even sized balls to go on to your trays. I make about 6 per tray just because they spread out. You don't want to put too many on one tray. So we just got one ball here, which I then split in half, which is half of one of the 2 balls. And then we're just going to split this into as evenly 3 as we can. If you have a small ice cream scoop, or what most people call it a cookie scoop, that is perfect for these to make sure they're nice and even sized. However, sadly I don't have one. Then put one on there, make another ball around there. Excuse my dirty fingers, your hands will get a little bit mucky. Put one there. That one's slightly smaller, so just add a little bit to it from your slightly bigger ones. Okay, I'm actually going to put these next to each other because it's better when they spread. There we go. So there's one tray of cookies. Now on to the next tray. So here are two batches of cookies ready to go in the oven. So they're going to go in the preheated oven for 10 to 12 minutes. Honestly, if at 10 they look kind of done, they look how you'd imagine a cookie, then get them out because you don't want them to go hard. And when you take them out, they will still be a little bit soft in the middle, like you won't be able to poke them and it be clean. It's not like a cake. You take them out and they'll be soft and they'll harden up a little bit when they cool off. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes and my cookies are looking good. So I'm going to go ahead and get those out the oven. Always make sure you're wearing oven gloves when removing things from the oven as it's going to be very hot. Oh my god, they're huge! They're huge! Okay, so this is what they're looking like straight out of the oven. As you can see, they're still quite soft, so like if I touch it, it does like go under my finger, but they'll harden up as they cool down. So these are best served hot. And also I forgot to say, if you don't want to cook them like today, so if you don't want to cook them now, you can pre-make the dough and freeze it in the freezer, or even chill it in the fridge if you're going to do it in the next couple of days. You can freeze the dough for as long as you like and then just pop them in the oven, and they should take just an extra minute or two, so about 12 minutes-ish. Okay, so now all I do is just grab the corners of the baking parchment, be careful not to touch the tray as it'll be hot, and just transfer them so that they can cool down a little bit quicker. If you do leave them on the baking tray, that will be fine, they will cool down, but I just like to transfer them to a cooling rack. So here are our cookies, so we're just going to leave them to cool for about 5 minutes, as they will just like crumble if you just eat them now. So just wait for them not to be as springy on top and they should be good. So that's it for the video. I really hope you all enjoyed watching me make them and you're going to give it a go yourselves. These will honestly not last a week in our family. Everyone loves them so much. So please give it a go. If you do, make sure to send me your pictures over on Instagram. Mine is @katie.townsend5 and I'll be sure to reply to you and have a look at all of them because they are just delicious. I'll see you next Monday for another video. Bye!